Hello and welcome to Chats with Chelsi. I'm so excited to have you today because you're going to meet someone who is just like killing the game. There's no other way to say it. I'm here today with Ell Alexander. She is the CEO and owner of Black Girls Run. Yes, that national organization, and she's sitting here in my little studio. She made her way here. I am so excited for her to be able to share her story, her journey. So for all you ladies out there who may be struggling some way in your faith and trusting God to take that next step, or if it's taking that step to be an entrepreneur, you truly are in for a treat. So JL, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Chelsi.
I am so, when I text you one morning, literally sitting right over there in my little prayer corner, and you said yes, I said, look at the Lord. I got someone running the national organization.
You give me more credit than deserve, but I appreciate it.
To come and sit. And so JL and I, we're in the Junior League of Richmond together, and
Yes.
so that's how we met.
Yes.
But it's been so exciting to watch you for the past 6 months just do your thing with Black Girls Run. So let's go back a little bit, JL. Here, Richmond, tell us your upbringing. Yeah.
Sure. So I've been in Richmond. It'll be 10 years next year. So I've been here quite a while. It's definitely become home.
Okay.
But originally I am from Norfolk, Virginia, which is about an hour and a half south. And then went to Mason for college up in Fairfax. And then came to Richmond. My husband would say I came for him. But came to Richmond, went to grad school at VCU, and I've been here since 2009. So in that course, gotten married to my husband,
Yes.
bought a home, all of that good stuff. So Richmond has truly become home. And I'm excited just about everything that's happening in Richmond. But Richmond's a great city, and excited to have been able to spend, the last decade or so here.
Yes,
Yeah.
a decade. That's quite okay. So from Norfolk, came here, been here 10 years.
Right.
You attend church here.
Yeah, absolutely. So my church is the Life Church in Richmond. Pastor
Hello, Vernon.
Yeah, hey, Vernon. Pastor Vernon Gordon. So we've been members since Vernon kicked off the church at Benford Middle School.
Wow.
So my husband has been college friends with Vernon as well. So it's great to see TLC, just the growth we've had over the last 2.5, 3 years. We're grateful to be members and friends of Vernon as well as the church. Yeah.
And I know you've been involved with the church.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, because I want to connect these pieces.
Sure. So, I grew up in church. Went to a Presbyterian church. Went to a Catholic middle school. Vacation Bible school during the summer. So church has always been a part of my upbringing, but it was never like forced upon me.
Okay.
So when I was old enough, of course, I was like, oh, I don't have to go to church anymore. Like, who wants to wake up Sunday morning? So, and then I got to a point in my life, where we got married, had to go to marriage counseling. And then got into my career, and you get to that point, it was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, I'm kind of just getting up every day, going to work, not really feeling like I'm living in my purpose. And so, at that time, that's when some people, or I just speak for myself, you start to need to pull on something a little bit stronger. Something a little bit that'll come, kind of show you who he is.
Come on.
And say, okay, let me take the reins now. You've had fun.
Right.
Now you sit back and let me take over. And so that's when, Vernon reached out and asked if we wanted to be part of the church. And, my husband was like, well, let's just, it was more so supporting Vernon than really anything else. And once we got involved in the church, felt the energy. Volunteering is a huge thing for me, and the church is big on volunteering. I was like, we need to be a part of this. And so communications and PR is my background, and so early on in the church, I definitely assisted on that team, helped to lead the communications and social media. So it was the best of both worlds, able to kind of feed my faith,
right,
but also able to just continue to serve in the capacity that I love as well with communication. So it like I said, it's been a great journey with TLC, and so now we still, just came from church today. And it's always a good word. So yeah, I definitely continue to walk in that path of needing something. It's like, okay, let me get myself straight.
Right.
And let me go get filled with the word today so I can get back on the right track.
That's so good. And I think that's, a nugget that I want to pull out for our ladies is that we can be living life and doing our thing.
Absolutely.
And it can be so easy just to get caught up in ourselves and us to try to be in control. And I hope that for many of you, it will not take something tragic happening, that you will allow yourself to recognize when you have put God on the back burner, when you put fellowship with other believers on the back burner, to bring that back to the forefront so that you can be ready for each week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My mom always, I'm always a very type A person. And everything has to be scheduled and planned and checked off, and I can account for. And so I'll tell my mom, yeah, we're gonna do this and this and this, and I got this plan. And my mom will say, Jan, they say one thing if you want to hear the Lord laugh, tell them your plan. And she'll just leave it at that. I'm like, really, Mom?
I'm
trying to tell you my life right now. She'll be like, it sounds really good, but I'm just letting you know. That's about all it sounds right now. It's good. And that's how it was. It was like I had everything planned out, and it's like, boy, what am I doing? Like, just getting up from work, and my marriage. I've been married for 5 years, but the 5 years wasn't just easy peasy either. And
marriage is hard work. I just want you to know, great marriages take work.
Absolutely. And so honeymoon years had subsided, and I'm like, we need something else, like, to shake this up. And that was professionally, personally, and within our household as well. And that's what it was. Like, once we started getting back involved with the church, we just saw witness continue his presence, but also just, the blessing just started over what we actually already, were receiving, not realizing like, yeah, you guys are doing great,
right.
But now that you've kind of let me back in, let me do what I do. And that's what I have to continue to tell myself every day, like, JL, just sit back. And let him handle it.
That's so good and so encouraging for me, just even sitting here. And there's so much more to your story. But I'm type A as well, and I like to plan. And it's like this is how we're gonna do this. Right. And literally this morning in my quiet time, God was just shaking it up, and He's like, "Trust me to work at all these different things that you're, thinking through. Just let me, let me."
Right.
And so it can be challenging though.
Oh, absolutely. You just gotta let it go. And as easy as I say it, it's hard.
It's hard.
Like, no, you mean I can't be in control? I mean, I can't drive. Like, you want me to sit in the passenger seat?
Maybe the back seat. That's what he wants sometimes.
Right. What? Like, huh? I don't understand this, but
yeah, I want to know where we going, when we gonna stop,
right, exactly.
How fast we gonna go, who else getting in the car.
Everything planned out from point A to point B. Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Yes, the struggle is real.
Right.
So, you had your own company. Tell us, that was your first entrepreneurial step.
Right.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, so it wasn't even on purpose. I came out of grad school in 2010, was just looking for some hands-on work besides kind of just professional experience. And so I was working in a full-time role in PR, but then just had this opportunity upon my lap with Black Girls Run, had initially taken off. They were looking for some national media assistants to get more exposure, and met a colleague, and he introduced me to the co-founder of BGR, and literally had a phone conversation on the phone, and she was like, "You seem great, let's make it happen." I was like, sure. So handled a media event for them in New York, flew up to New York, met them for the first time.
Wow. And
literally slept head to toe in a New York studio apartment, meeting these two girls for the first time.
Wow.
And since then it was just magic. And that was back in 2012. And so my relationship with them continued to evolve. But at that time, I was just working, volunteer based, and then it moved into a contractor position, and I didn't understand what contractor meant.
Okay.
So taxes is a big thing when you're a contractor, and so Uncle Sam hit me hard at the end of the year. And so come to realize, I was like, oh no, you need to establish a business if you're going to get paid as a contractor. And so it really happened to save myself financially. It wasn't on purpose to create like this entrepreneur role, but that's kind of how it happened 6 years ago, to create my business to save me with the tax issue.
So you started off as a volunteer.
Yep.
I think that is so awesome, because you were using a passion to help an organization that that came to you, and helping them to fulfill their mission, but to do that as a volunteer, were you expecting to be paid?
I don't think I was expecting to be paid at all. The organization just speaks bounds in terms of what we do in the community. And at that time, I had put on extra weight, was in grad school, put on that happy weight with my husband, and I had started running myself, and just saw how exhilarating running was and what it did for me, and then saw what they had already done in the community, and I was like, oh, I want to be a part of that. And so really was not looking for anything of it, and definitely was not looking for this path that I was on to evolve into what it is now. But really just reached out, I want to be a part of this because I see the awesomeness that it involves.
So 2012, volunteer, contractor,
right.
And then in that you started your own company.
Right.
For tax purposes, but it became this great benefit,
right.
And you started doing work for other people.
Yep, so started doing work for other people, managing other communications and PR, social media, all of the above, and could still do to this day. So the business has continued to grow, attain more clients, and that's kind of where it continued to evolve with Black Girls Run as well.
More clients. So okay, and so you still have your PR company,
right?
And now you're the CEO, owner of Black Girls Run.
Right.
How do you? I mean, what's your tips for time management, for keeping yourself together, keeping your household, your hubby? I mean,
to be completely transparent, I still have not mastered it. It's still understanding work-life balance, and as an entrepreneur, sometimes there is no traditional 9 to 5. So yes, I'm answering emails, late at night or early in the morning, or when I get a chance to answer emails. It's not my structured schedule. So I'm still learning, and my husband will be like, put the phone down, it's dinner time. So it kind of takes him sometimes holding me accountable.
That's good though.
To understand that, okay, I understand you're an entrepreneur now, but you still got to recognize when to press pause on certain things. So I'm still learning. So I don't have any magic notion. Time management is still an issue with me. But it's a learning lesson. It's a continued learning lesson. Yeah.
That's good. So tell us what your daily routine is, being the owner of 2 companies, 2 thriving companies, right? We're not just talking about any old thing. We're talking about thriving companies with a national base.
Yeah. It's my things to do list keeps me sane. So I literally will jot down everything that I need to do, from if I need to go to a dentist appointment at 10:30, or if I need to go to the gym today, or if I'm gonna stay in the house and just run on the treadmill. I put that down on my things to do list. Even if it's, going to the gym or running every day, that's a part of my regular routine. I still need to write it down because it still needs to get done. And I take, just me as that type A, just take appreciation and say, okay, I can take this off of my list. So I write everything down that I need to do. And if it's something that doesn't need to get done, then it gets copy and pasted to the next day. That's just kind of how it goes.
So are you doing this electronically?
I'm doing it electronically, and then I write the most important things in my planner. So, appointments or, just general meetings. That way it holds me accountable electronically on a calendar, but also making sure that I have it in my planner as well. So it's both.
But you have your system, and I think that's so key. You have to figure out your
what
system.
works for you.
Yes.
Exactly. What
Yes.
works for you. So, and then I make sure that I work, I wake up, do my morning routine. I work a couple of hours, go to the gym, come home, work a few more hours, maybe take a mind break, because I can also get in a rut where I'm just sitting at a computer answering emails. So I have to purposely build in breaks as well, which is the hard part when you're at home most of the day. And then when hubby comes home, I'm like, all right, my work day is supposed to be over. Sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. And then, go cook dinner and all that good stuff. And then sometimes I do have to hop back on that computer just because I can't sit at a computer for 8 hours. So I try to get at least 4 to 5 hours in at a computer in a day. So that's kind of generally my schedule.
Did you ever think that you were going to be an entrepreneur when you were in college and graduate school?
No, not at all. My background is in communications, went to school for communications and PR, concentrated in broadcast journalism, and I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up.
Okay.
But in college, when I kind of evolved into what I wanted to be a VJ on MTV or BET or VH1. That was kind of my dream, to be a VJ. So no, did not think I would be an entrepreneur or anything, but I knew I would be kind of in this space of just working with people. That's kind of what gives me energy. So
you're an extrovert?
Oh, very much so. Just took another Myers-Briggs probably about a week ago, and I was like 93% extrovert.
Okay. So then how does that work, JL, being at home when you're working at home so much?
Well, I do a lot of meetings out of the house as well.
Okay.
So I make sure that I schedule lunch meetings with someone or go meet someone, or just, even talking on the phone. I think that kind of feeds my extrovert. And then I travel a lot as well. So sometimes, that 7% that's on the introvert side is usually my time that I've reached my extrovert capacity, and then it's time for me to kind of retreat and fuel myself back up. So there's a little area there that definitely I use when I need that me time. But I do push that extrovert to the limit.
I can only imagine. And I love following you on social media. You just went to Facebook. But before we get to...
I forgot all about that.
Before we get to that, though, because I had kind of interjected some questions from your story. Okay. Volunteer, contractor.
Right.
Tell us from you being a contractor to you now being the CEO and owner.
Yeah,
I just love saying that. I'm sitting next to the CEO and owner of Black Girls Run.
Too good. That's too good. It happened. It was not my plan. How about I just say that first? It was not my plan at all. This time last year, we had just completed our 2017 conference with Black Girls Run in Philly, and we didn't know where the organization was headed. Just me working for the organization or either the co-founders as well. And we have been shopping it around for a while, to be completely transparent, and nothing really came to fruition. And one of the co-founders texted me and was like, "Jay, have you ever thought about buying it yourself?" And I was like, "Nah, girl. Nah. Who wants that headache? Like, no, I see y'all work hard." I was like, I like sitting in my little one section of the organization. It has been great for me, but that's I don't have any aspirations. So we left the conversation alone, and then probably about a couple of weeks from, this time last year, she's like, "Jay, I really think this will be a great opportunity for you. You should consider it." And I was like, "Well, you guys, you're going to have to lower the price on this thing. I'm not going into debt and take on a headache. Like, my husband going to look at me like I'm crazy."
That's okay.
So we kind of settled on a price, and then I was like, all right, now I got to figure out how I'm going to pay for this thing. Like, love it to death, want to continue to see the organization grow, but financially, I need to make sure that this is not a burden. And so literally, Christmas holiday, went home, Christmas dinner, and seated around with family and was like, "Hey, this is what I'm trying to make happen." My mom and my aunts have been around with Black Girls Run for as long as I have, because they make the Black Girls Run conference every year at Sisters Weekend. Okay. So they've seen me evolve with the organization. So I pitched it to my mom, my dad, my brother, cousins, and they were like, "Oh, Jay, we got you." And literally had 8 people write checks.
At the Christmas dinner table.
Christmas dinner, or at least within a few days after the holidays.
Wow.
And was like, Jay, we have you. Like, go do what you love to do. We see the energy that you bring. How Happy Black Girls Run makes you, and go, you know, my aunt is like, we don't have anybody in the family that own a company. Girl, let me know what you need. And she slid a check right over to me and was like, let us help you. And I think that was the first step of just realizing, man, this thing's about to happen. And it was that easy that I asked for help. Let my burden, let my own ego sit that aside and say, family, I'm coming to y'all.
Right.
And they were like, Jill, you know, you shouldn't have hesitated. And they held me down. And it was just that easy.
From when one of the co-founders sent you the text message and you accepted, what was the conversations like with your husband, with God? What was that like in that space?
I mean, initially it was fear, doubt, uncertainty, all negative feelings, just me as my own flesh. And then began to talk to my husband, began, you know, just include it in my prayer life, and was like, God, if you want to make this happen, like, I need to know what to do. Like, at this point, I have no clue what to do. You know, who wants to take on this burden? It's going to take a shift just in my availability as a wife, as a daughter. You know, how is this all going to work? And I mean, he quickly bumped me to that back seat, like we said, and took over and was like, let me steer this ship. And it has continued, and it has not been easy. You know, the acquisition was just complete in April, and it's been 6 months, but it has not been an easy road. And, you know, some days I'm just like, oh, I got to get on the plane again. Traveling is not as glamorous as it appears. You know, I have to spend another night again away from home because, you know, this work is needed out in the community. Or, you know, I got to stay up late again and, you know, get this newsletter out, or whatever it is, you know, it's continue to stretch my faith and say, okay, Jay, this is where you need to be. Don't doubt yourself. And I actively have to force those negative thoughts out of my head. Like, as soon as they enter, I'm like, JL, come on, focus back. You got this. You can do it. Like, he is going to hold you down.
That's so good.
This is your purpose. And I have to actively walk, like I'm a crazy person, actively in my head, talking to each other, like, JL, push those negative thoughts out of your head, because it's so easy to go there and doubt yourself. And that over the last 6 months, I'm like, my faith is just getting stronger and stronger, and it hasn't even been on purpose, but I'm actively in my head, I'm like, JL, you got this. Like, just look at the people that are supporting you, that believe in you, and just that alone, and look where he has brought you. Like, this could have failed a long time ago. But just understand that you are walking in your purpose. And that alone has continued to get me up every day and continue to, like, hey, JL, this is going to be okay.
Right. You know, and I appreciate your honesty and your transparency, because I think sometimes when we look at people who are in a position of influence and impact, right? Even as we think about this in the Christian community, we sometimes overlook the work that goes into following purpose. And that, you know, when we take that initial step of, okay, Lord, I'm going to follow you, that there's still steps after that on a daily basis.
Absolutely. It's a continuous sacrifice. You know, we're so caught up in looking at, okay, what's the end result? Where's the success? Where's the money? Where's the fame? But not looking at it's sweetness in the process to get there.
That's good. Sweetness, okay.
So, and trust me, it's easy that I say that to you in this conversation. I'm still trying to learn it myself. Still trying to figure it out. But it's those days that I'm like, okay, you know, JL, just continue to get up every day. Do what you're supposed to. And the end result is going to be great. And just just look at how much you're changing and growing and maturing in this process to just make you a better person, better to serve, better to be, better wife, better daughter. You know, it's evolving you holistically, and I have to look at that. So yeah, it's that journey. It's hard, but it's making you so much better. And I mean, that's what's he didn't build us to you know fall. Well, even if we do fall, we're built to just get back up, brush it off and get back up. But he didn't build us to just break down and just give up and you know all of that. No, like just get back up, dust it off. You may have a few complaints, that's fine. You know, those negative thoughts, they're normal, but just know that you are built for this. And I mean, I just have to continue reminding myself that.
Wow. So powerful, ladies. I hope that you like were able to like soak that in.
Right.
That you can be that when you are walking in your purpose, there's still going to be challenges. There's still going to be those fears, and that, you know, you can't have your life based off of your life's aspirations based off what you may see on TV,
right,
on social media,
right,
because you know those are just the highlight reels.
Exactly.
That's not the full story.
Absolutely.
But what I love about what JL just said was that there's this sweetness,
right,
in following purpose that you won't find trying to chase the money, trying to chase the fame. There's a sweetness in purpose. I like that. You know, I know we're here for the ladies, but you pouring into me too.
I love it. Whatever I can do, I'll take that.
So I was watching Facebook. Tell us about Facebook for Black Girls to Run. Oh, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh my gosh. So during the acquisition process, this opportunity came. My mom, who is the most non-Facebook person, most non-social media person, I should say, was like, Jay, I saw this thing about the Facebook. And I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? And she was like, you can apply for something, you know, get some money, they'll help you know, with your business. And I was like, all right, I'll look it up. So I looked it up. It was valid. Applied for it. And I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and apply for it. You know, either I can take advantage of it, or if this whole thing goes left, then at least the organization can still benefit. Applied for it, continue, you know, acquisition was complete, continue to go through the process. They wanted an interview, did a video submission, did an essay, all these different things that I had to submit. And then September came, you know, and it was one of those things, they were like, you know, as you advance through the process, please keep this on the hush, this, that, and the third. So, you know, really only my husband knew about it and my mom. And then September, we got an email and it's like, you've been selected to participate in the Facebook Community's Leadership Program. I was like, if this doesn't feel like winning the lottery, and I was like, oh, you know, you just played a lottery, think you're going to hit for a couple $100. And I was like, man, who? And I was literally sitting in my office at home and was like, I don't even know what to call. Who to call? It's the middle of the day. My husband not going to answer because he's at work. My mom called my mom. She answered. She was like, my mom is my biggest cheerleader. And she was like, oh my gosh, Jay, it was just one of those things where I just literally, the wind beneath my knees, and just took me up from the floor. Like, I cannot believe that this is happening. But long story short, it's a year-long program.
Okay.
I'll be working with Facebook to just take Black Girls Run to the next level. So we'll receive funding, professional development, just networking opportunities. Over the next year, we'll be doing a community project that they'll fund to just really enhance the community side of the organization. And so we'll be meeting up again in February out in Seattle. And then I'll be working with my Facebook manager to just take it to the next level. So just super excited about where it can go. But yeah, it was one of those occasions where it was just like, okay, I'm just going to put the seed out there and just see what happens. And lo and behold, it bloomed very quickly.
Wow. I didn't realize it was all those components.
Yeah.
So just to think, though, me, you know, in my strategist mind, like, oh my gosh, where you'll be a year from now with the resources that
Yeah, it's surreal to think about, like, you know, Black Girls Run will be celebrating a decade as an organization in April in 2019. And it's like, oh man, like this organization still has not reached the true impact that it can make in the community. We've done some great things, but I'm super excited to be able to be a part of to lead this next chapter of where the organization can grow, and that's what really makes me excited.
Well, we have talked about faith.
Yes.
We have talked about you being the CEO of 2 companies. And what else would you want to share with the ladies to encourage, to motivate them?
I would really have to say, like I said, just knowing that we are here on this earth to serve others, but also live in our own purpose. And that everyone's journey is completely different. So what you mentioned about seeing on social media and TV, people only post what you want them to see. So, it took 25 selfies for me yesterday before I posted that one picture of me. So, in them other 25 pictures, I wasn't going to show to anybody. And that's just what I'm saying. Everybody's journeys look different. So you can't compare what you see on social media like, damn, I'm not doing this. And dang, she's doing this. Or, man, why am I not there? Like, and that's not what it's about at all. Like, we should really just have moments like this where we support each other and we encourage each other and celebrate each other. I think we definitely need more occasions like that. But then also we need more occasions where we appreciate our own journey. And, if you're down, don't feel ashamed to reach out to someone and say, how did you do this? Or how can you help me? It's okay to be a little selfish and just understand that you're helping yourself, but at the same time, you're helping someone else too. And I think that's what people need to realize, those kind of 3 things: celebrating each other, appreciating the journey, and enjoying your own journey. And then also realize that you do have a purpose on this life. And so just to continue to understand that you have to walk in that purpose, and only you can do that.
Well, if you missed church on Sunday, you just got a word from JL right now. So I hope that you're listening and you took some notes. These are life nuggets. But seriously, JL, I say thank you. Thank you for coming to share
I'm
with
excited to be here.
The Chats with Chelsi family. But thanks, again, for your transparency, your honesty in this conversation, because that's one of the things that I deeply desire through this series, is that through our authentic conversations, people will not only be motivated and inspired, but they'll be challenged to be all that God wants them to be. And so thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Well, ladies, you heard it, all of the great wisdom today from Ell Alexander. Be sure that you are following Black Girls Run, whether you run or not, because I really don't run, but I'm going to go support JL, so I may do some running. But you support her and watch her journey and watch how her organization grows, because if you're an entrepreneur out there and you're just like, what do I do? You can, even if you don't know JL, you can watch the growth of her organization over this next year with the input of Facebook for ideas and best practices that she will be implementing. And if you didn't notice, you can tell that she's a communications and PR major, because all of her answers were just like flawless. And she came back with those points. I was like, yes. Well, listen, have a great day, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. That was good. That was so good.